Do you ever get afraid that it's just all going to fall apart? That everything you've worked so hard for will just disappear? What do you do when that happens? I mean, seriously, what do you do? To be honest, this is a real thing that most everyone deals with, some more often than others. Some experience it all too often. Do you curl up in a ball? Do you go into a deep depression? Do you get into some sort of a funk? Or are you one of those people that have found a way or ways that you use to shake it off? Perhaps you have a unique way or things that you do that allow you to just sort of drive forward. Seriously, what do you do when you get that feeling that everything you worked so hard for is just going to disappear? Do you do nothing? Or just deal with it? Do you just ignore it? What do you personally do? Do you have any tricks or hacks or little unique ways that you use to get yourself back on track? Sort of reset or recalibrate where everything is in your headspace. Let me share something that I do for me. And in full disclosure, this is what works for me and doesn't mean that it will work for you. But I would love for people to share the things that they do for them. If we're lucky, we will get a bunch of different ideas in the comments that various people do. For me, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, and that feeling that things are going to fall apart starts rearing its head and creeping into my thoughts, I like to break things up into small bite-sized pieces. First, I like to inventory of what I have going on. All of it. Good, bad, everything. Then I like to think about the best case scenario. And then I think about the worst case scenario for each. Then I think, this is the important part. I think of solutions for each of the challenges that I am facing, or I might be facing. Essentially, how I would handle the situation if it goes bad. If the worst case thing happens, what would be my plan to address each one of those things? The strategy here is that I'm trying to take the bite out of the fear, take the bite out of the worst case scenario by having a plan to address it should it happen. For me, this de-escalates the sense of overwhelm. It puts me back into a sense of control. Not that I necessarily have everything handled at that current time, but that I will take each thing one at a time, and I have a plan to address it if I have to, one at a time. The truth is, a vast majority of the worst case scenarios that we believe and worry are going to happen don't ever end up happening. Of those that actually happen, the vast majority, not nearly as bad as we had imagined them. That being said, having a process to be prepared and a comfort in knowing that while the bad is still, well, bad, it won't be anything that you're not prepared for. All while being comforted in knowing that rarely will the worst case actually be what you end up seeing. And then, I redirect my attention and live in the positive. I try to focus on what it is that I can control and not focus on what I cannot. Because I've already gone through the exercise. I've already decided on what my fallback strategy or plan is to address it should it happen. I've already decided that here are the things that are going well, here are the things that are not, and if the worst case happens, here's what my solution will be for this, and this is my solution that'll be for that. The goal is to try to take the sting or the bite out of the worst case scenario and the worry that it brings. Make sense? And so, if you ever get caught up in that fear of what happens if I just lose it all, which by the way is a normal fear, and no, you are not alone, have a plan that works for you. I would love your feedback, and I'd love feedback from people watching this video. What kinds of hacks you do? What types of things do you do when you get that feeling that just about everybody gets from time to time? That, oh my goodness, what happens if I lose everything that I've worked so hard for? Feeling or thought. What's your plan? What do you do? And what hacks or systems or processes do you have or use that helps you make sure that you don't let it consume you? So that you don't let it bring you into a funk or let you get you down or depressed or whatever word you want to use for that feeling we're talking about here. Specifically, so that it doesn't take control of you. Again, I would really love your input on what you do yourself as your little hacks or ways that you use to work around it. I just shared mine. What's yours? Thank you in advance for your thoughtful ideas and input. Maybe you have a process or hack that might help others deal with the feelings that we pretty much all deal with from time to time. Okay, my friends, please make it a great day and certainly make it a great life. Never miss the opportunity to do something today that your future self will thank you for. I'm here in San Diego. I'm sorry if you heard some military aircraft flying by from time to time, but hopefully the sound still turned out all right.